Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Call of Duty 2 for the Xbox 360. This was a launch title, so you've probably seen this 2,000,000 times. I know I'm doing a Call of Duty video. I eventually have to cover them all, at least all the ones that I own. It's just one of those things. I try to spread them far apart because I know there's people that do Call of Duty video after Call of Duty video. So unfortunately today on Mikey's Video Game Madness we will be covering Call of Duty 2 for the Xbox 360, also available on PC. After this, Call of Duty's been available on every system ever, but this was the first time that console players actually got to play like a PC quality Call of Duty game. And they actually had Call of Duty 2, which I'll eventually cover, for PlayStation 2 and Xbox, which was like Big Red 1 or something. I don't know. We'll figure out the title when we get there. We'll worry about that bridge once we cross it. Anyway, this is actually my personal all-time favorite Call of Duty games. I just like the World War II ones a lot. I just like the simple weapons, and something that they're straying away from is playing the different countries and stuff like that. Call of Duty obviously is a completely different beast altogether. Call of Duty was kind of like Medal of Honor, where back in the day it covered historic battles and stuff like that, are loosely based a story around like a real time or something like that. They were historic shooters. Like Call of Duty was meant to be a World War II shooter, although Infantry Ward at the time wanted to actually make Modern Warfare when they made Call of Duty 2, but Activision wouldn't let them. They said you have to make Call of Duty 2 first and then you can make Modern Warfare. Usually I don't agree with Activision's decision, but I'm happy that they made it because they ended up making my favorite Call of Duty in the process. So my favorite Call of Duties, just in case you're curious, I'm going to pick 3, even though there's 12 billion, and I like them all for different reasons. I mean, I know it's Call of Duty, everybody plays it. I'm not a huge multiplayer person, so I usually go in for the campaign. But seems to remember my saves, but I don't remember playing all of these. And somehow my saves get saved in the cloud. It appears that they have. I recently got a gold membership so I could play Titanfall, and I know that's weird for one game, but I figured I'd play Halo and 2, but actually I haven't really played much. Not that I have anything against those games. Sorry, I couldn't talk. But I just have so many games, and doing this channel I get overwhelmed and I don't give it enough time. But obviously you can tell I beat the game. Otherwise I believe you'd have to play all these in order, or at least unlock like the other campaigns. But in order, my favorite Call of Duty, this is my favorite. World at War is my second favorite, and my third favorite is Call of Duty Black Ops, if you were curious. Maybe that'll give you the idea of the kind of games that I like in the Call of Duty series. I think all the games are well polished and really fun, so it's whatever.
1939.
This is one of the Call of Duty games that actually uses the military channel footage. I believe maybe the other Call of Duty did it as well. I don't know. I think it kind of looks cheesy, to be honest, to have like a channel logo. It feels like a big advertisement, but it's whatever. So this is a tutorial, which I probably should have skipped, but I didn't. I feel like it's part of the experience. I believe this runs at 60 frames per second. I think this was the first one on consoles to do so. This looks as good, and I have played through the PC version. There might be subtle differences, but I think it looks as good as the PC version. The Xbox 360 was pretty advanced. I actually had to get the PC version because I didn't own an Xbox 360 at the time. This was a launch title, so it was kind of a novelty to own a 360, so I had to stick to the PC version, and this game was extremely scalable, and I could run it on the shitty computer that I have. And now my computer that I have now, that was new. This is like the third iteration of my computer that I'm running, and now it's considered shitty. I can't hear what he's saying. I probably should put subtitles on, but I see that they're already on. No, but I'm glad that you give people that option. So it's pistols. Alright. I guess I'll start over here. I just love the way the guns in the World War II and Vietnam era games feel. That's why I like the Wolfenstein games a lot as well. And I like their sci-fi elements, but that's a different game altogether. We're playing Call of Duty 2 right now. But I just think this is the best Call of Duty. World at War is pretty close though. And I bought World at War on a whim because I was like, it came out fairly soon after Modern Warfare, and a different company was making it, and I was wary about it. But Treyarch, or however you say their name, actually, it seems like, in my opinion, has made probably the best Call of Duty games when it comes to innovation. I like the Modern Warfare games, but they're kinda... I've been playing PlayStation 3, so I'm not used to the analog sticks being as tight. I've been playing PlayStation 4, and I gotta get used to the analog sticks. I gotta approach the glowing mannequin and hit it with your rifle. I'm like talking. I can't hear what he's saying because I have the sound all the way down. Like, but these are potatoes. That's my bad accent. I'm sorry if you're Russian. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I just heard him on the game say something like that. I just wanted to try to sound like what they sounded like. I hope I did a good job. I actually had a Russian boss. He actually liked me a lot, and I liked him boss-wise because he was one of the few people that didn't pull any punches or bullshit. If he didn't like you, you at least knew it. And as shitty as that sounds, like, I liked it. I didn't have to guess. It's nothing worse more than somebody that'll stab you in the back. This is a good conversation to have about, because stabbing in the back, and we're talking about war. Oh, I gotta go down here. So apparently this game, you would play it a lot slower if you were deaf or sitting really close to the television like I am. The sound's definitely a big part of the Call of Duty series, and I'm missing out on that aspect of it. But we get commentary instead, so yay, commentary. Hopefully that was convincing you to stay longer. I don't know if I succeeded or not, because I'm not at your house. It'd be creepy if I was. You'd probably be creeped out. I'd be creeped out too, because I'm like, how the hell do I get here? And I don't even know where I am. What's here? I'm so confused. Talking randomness right now. Sorry. It's what we call in the business filler, when you try to think of shit to say to fill out a video. This is one of those games, although well done, because it is my favorite Call of Duty. This is one of those things in games that I refer to as the Disney park ride. where you always feel like you're getting shot at and stuff like that when you're really not in danger as long as you duck. It just makes it feel like you're shot at, like one of those like roller coaster things that like move around and make you, where explosions blow up around you and stuff, and you feel like you're in some sort of form of immediate danger. But it works, you know. It does make games fun if it's done well enough. Sometimes it's overused and overdone, and then it feels artificial, and then you don't take the game serious, and there's no sense of danger. This game does it well. It's my favorite after all. It might not look as nice as World at War, but it does everything that I would want a Call of Duty game to do. And I have to say, for like a launch title, but I'm being biased because this is my favorite Call of Duty game, but for a launch title, and I'm surprised I didn't do this sooner, for a launch title, this is like awesome. A lot of times when a system comes out, they have weak titles. Like, there really wasn't any good launch title games for like the PlayStation 2 or the original Xbox. The GameCube actually had the amazing Rogue Squadron 2, but I mean, it's really rare. But the Xbox 360 had Call of Duty 2 as a launch title, which was amazing. Because for the first time, because PC gaming was kind of, I know it's popular now, but it was really popular back in the day because, I mean, the PlayStation 2 was out for a long time and people were trading graphic cards left and right. I mean, graphics on the PC still look probably a lot better than the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but I mean, it was a huge difference between PC gaming and playing on like the PlayStation 2. I think the original Xbox was underutilized, but as soon as Microsoft comes out with a new system, it seems like they forget about their old one. I really hope they don't do that with the Xbox 360. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's something I'm kind of worried about. I'm not really worried about Sony. Sony just discontinued the PlayStation 2 production when the PlayStation 4 came out, so when in doubt, use the weapons of the enemy. And the rifle isn't half bad either. I actually like the sights better on it. I don't like getting shot at though. The enemies aren't the brightest in the world. On a Call of Duty game, they almost line up like a stack of dominoes waiting to get pushed over. Not that it's always a cakewalk, especially on the higher difficulties. I found this game easier with the controller. I don't know why. You'd think playing with a mouse you'd be way more accurate, but I don't know. I had the PC version. I had a card to play it at pretty much the highest settings at the time that this came out, and it wasn't really a terribly expensive card. So this was like a very scalable game, even though it was like on the newest next-gen system, which says a lot about the engine that this runs on. Hey, guy. But I played the PC version extensively, and there was nothing wrong with like slowdown or anything. But I don't know, like, I just find it easier to play with a controller. Like, Once I got my hands on a controller, and I remember playing this on the Xbox 360, unless they changed the difficulty or something, which I doubt. My voice just cracked there. Apparently I'm going through puberty all over again. But unless they change the difficulty, I'll just play better with the controller. But I think developers are realizing some people are just better at games with a controller, because if you notice, like, most PC games now support like the Xbox 360 controller, probably the Xbox One controller now, although I'm not personally a fan of it. The only thing I like about the Xbox One controller is I like that their analog sticks are super textured. I wish Sony would have took a hint and did that with them. This is the first Call of Duty that has like that recharging Halo life. I remember being really confused when I first played this game, looking for health packs, and I couldn't find anything. I didn't understand what was happening. When the screen turned red, it was weird, and I'm like, why am I not dead? And all this other shit was going through my head, and it was just traumatic. It doesn't seem like this game stays at a stable frame rate, so I'm not sure if this was like one of the advertised 60 frames per second. I think this is one of those 60 frames per second sometimes, and it might not run at 60 frames at all. I don't know. I know the other Call of Duty games after this were running at 60 frames, but I don't know what this was. This is a launch title. But a very good launch title. This holds up to like some of the newer games that come out. Definitely in the gameplay department. Like I said, it's my favorite Call of Duty, so I'm probably being biased. I do miss the battlefield environmental destruction, and when I'm playing shooters, it's kind of something I expect. But that's just because I like games with the Frostbite 3 engine. This is one of those games, if you don't move up, you can find yourself killing like enemies that just respawn over and over and over again, because it just wants you to proceed forward, and then they'll quit spawning, and there's a formula to it. But if you think about the formula, it kind of takes the fun out. It takes the mystery out of it. I can't go further. Just pray it doesn't hit. That was a very stupid thing I did there. So don't do it if you're playing this game. But I don't think you will, because I think you're smart. And I think you'll subscribe to this channel and like the video and leave a very pleasant comment to read. I think. I'm not sure, but I think. Click to use your binoculars. So I was completely wrong when I was playing Call of Duty 3 in that video, when I said in Call of Duty 2 you could even run. Apparently you can't run in this one either. I guess Call of Duty 4 was the first one you could sprint. So I apologize for giving you incorrect information, but I doubt you're even paying that much attention to my videos. But just in case you're the minority that is, I am sorry. If you play Call of Duty 3, like, this gun's like practically like, looks like it's made out of like surgical stainless steel. I don't know why it's so reflective in that game. But I never held one in real life, so I can't tell you what they really look like. But it's the only game that I've ever played, and I like Call of Duty 3. A lot of people don't like it, but I think a lot of people are just bitter that it didn't come out on the PC. It does have some flaws, and I've heard people speak of glitches that I haven't personally come across, but I totally believe the people. I just was lucky it didn't come across them, but I'm sure that they're definitely there, like, because more than one person has said it, and even if one person said it, I would believe them, because I have this thing where I believe people, which I probably shouldn't. Especially, it probably started like my parents told me Santa Claus is real. I believe that shit too. Maybe I shouldn't believe people all the time, but I think it's safe enough to believe somebody is right when they say that Call of Duty 3 had a lot of glitches. Where am I going with this? This is like the most random freaking commentary. I always seem to top myself in randomness, because that's not the first time I said this is the freaking most random commentary I ever did. Why am I wasting my freaking time with that stupid ass sniper rifle with the freaking burlap sack over it when I could just freaking shoot people with a regular gun? Now I can't remember where I put my damn rifle. Is this it? Yeah, I want this instead. The snow effect, it looks pretty good or cool. I was gonna say cool, but the snow effects look cool. I guess so, because it's snow and it's cold. And this commentary is weird. Checkpoint has been reached. One thing they did take away from Call of Duty 3 that this game has is the vault option, which I always thought was weird that they omitted it, but I was wondering if maybe both games were being developed kind of at the same time, so maybe there was features added that the Call of Duty 3 team wasn't aware of. But everything was groovy and rectified in Call of Duty 4 and World at War, which is my second favorite Call of Duty game if you're keeping score. Are you keeping score? If you are, I feel so honored that you felt that my commentary was important enough to keep score to. Thank you very much. I love the fact that you actually can kind of see like a fingerprint on the back of this gun. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube's compression. I'm clicking the binoculars button to run, so he wasn't going anywhere. Luckily, my hiding space is pretty close to... Wow, they're really running. When I said running, all of a sudden No Doubt's running like popped in my head. I'm not gonna sing it for you, look it up. I'm really playing lousy for the sake of the video. I'm not really this careless most of the time. This is a nice semi-automatic rifle. I swear, I think the wired Xbox controller, and I said this in other videos before, I think the feedback on the wireless Xbox controller is stronger than the battery-powered one. I got shot. That was because I was being careless and talking about how the wired controller has better feedback. Let's hide behind these barrels that hopefully aren't explosive, because by video game rules, only red barrels blow up. By Doom's rules, I'm guessing. Look at you, just chilling in the corner. I believe this would have been one of those sections where they would have respawned, and I was being careless again because I'm running my mouth. This section should cause you no issues at all. If it does, I'm sorry, I'm not criticizing your gameplay. Not all of us can be good at games. I'm not good at games. But I wouldn't have this much trouble just on this particular part. It's just because I'm running my mouth about gosh only knows what half the time. I'm not even keeping up, so I feel bad for you. But you should totally continue to watch this channel and like and subscribe because you're a good person, right? Okay, good. Alright, hide behind the corner because that always works in real life like that. See, what you guys don't have that I have is this recharge ability. And if you do happen to kill me, all I gotta do is restart and I'll be right at the checkpoint, and then I'll go after your ass. Now, if you were playing the Devil's Cartel or any of the Battlefield games, all I would have to do is shoot that fucking table and it would have just sharded up into a sharded. No, it would not sharded. It would shred to a million pieces. Sharding is not the same thing. Sharding is when you try to pass gas and you end up pooping in your pants instead. I use very scientific terms there. Should have said defecate, but poop just felt more appropriate. I don't know how scientific defecating is, but that's probably the most polite term when describing the process of pooping. We went from shooting to pooping to a whole bunch of topics on this video. This should be an interesting watch, I hope. Obtain explosives from someone or something. Alright, I'm gonna take your explosives. Now I gotta place them in the designated areas. This appears to be a designated area. I've beaten this game so many different times and I'm doing so poor. You think I would know this like the back of my hand, but I'm telling you, doing a commentary and playing a game at the same time is easier said than done. Plant the explosives. Alright, now we get the hell out and watch our handiwork. Always judge a game by its explosions. Where are we gonna judge this game? Alright, for its time it looked good, but there was more smoke than fire. I'm not gonna judge a game by the explosion. That's a bullshit statement, because this game's awesome. The explosion was quite weak. At the time, I probably thought it was like impressive as I don't know what. But anyway, there was a couple levels of Call of Duty 2 on the Xbox 360, also available on the PC. My favorite game in the series. I would say you would be doing yourself a disservice if you played all the other Call of Duties and enjoyed them and you didn't check this one out. If you haven't already checked this one out, I'm sure you have if you played Call of Duty, because this was like the first major PC quality one to be released. I know they had Call of Duty Finest Hour, but it wasn't the same thing. It wasn't like Call of Duty 1 on the PC. We didn't even get to play that until Call of Duty Classic came out on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So this is Call of Duty 2 on the Xbox 360. I was looking at my PS3. I was about to say PS3. I'm tired. It's been a long day. But anyway, guys, like if you like first-person shooters or into World War II, definitely I'm probably telling you something you already know. Like I said, this is like an old game that everybody plays. It's like me trying to tell you about Super Mario Brothers, I feel like. But anyway, it's my favorite Call of Duty. I think it's a great game. It might not have all the features. It might not look as good as some of the newer Call of Duty games, but I think it's all around the most fun one to me. And I don't know, maybe I'm looking through this with nostalgic glasses on, but I really like this game. And I recommend it if you like first-person shooters or all of the above, or you just like video games. It's the best in the series. Before Call of Duty was like a expected annual thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please click a thumbs up, and if you would ever so kindly leave a message in the comment section below, positive or negative. I do prefer the positive comments. If you do decide to leave a negative comment, please make sure it's constructive criticism and not something shitty. Don't be an asshole, please. There's enough assholes in the world. Don't contribute to that pool. Anyway, if you like this video and you're new to this channel, please feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos if this video didn't convince you. Eventually you'll be convinced, damn it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and for the guys who have subscribed and gals who have subscribed already and support this channel, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And if you just stopped by and just supported this video, I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys in the community, yada yada yada. I'm getting sappy here. I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.